Hey, what's good? I go by the name of Kinell, and you are locked in to Sinister Cinema.
Fucking hell.
Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Sinister Cinema, where we're going to be getting deep into the guts of old classics and new releases from horror and exploitation cinema. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can also check us out on Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor FM, Podbean, them type of places if you prefer only the audio, but whatever. Anyway, right about now, a lot of people are going to be looking for films to stream. You probably burn through your old favourites rapid with all this being stuck inside that's going on. So I've got a few recommendations for you. Now, obviously, Jeff Bezos, like all billionaires, is the spawn of Satan. However, he's got his product absolutely nailed on with Prime Video. And if you know what you're looking for, you can find a few absolute gems in the kind of genres that I deal with. I'm talking some amazingly obscure, hard to find things that you just have been very difficult to find for years, but you can just find with a click. Okay, I'm going to be running through five of these, and the first one we're going to go for is 1976's Grizzly.
A motion picture is coming that does not cater to fantasy. You will see nature's most savage man-eating animal. By its size alone, it can overpower and devour any human. Grizzly. Over 18 feet tall, over 2,000 pounds. The largest carnivorous ground beast in the world.
Listen, campers come in here, they leave food around, the bears get the smell of it, and that's it. Well, this is different. This bum's eating his victims.
Anyone is fair game, because this grizzly preys on the easiest food of all, man. 18 feet of man-eating, gut-crunching terror. The deadliest jaws on land belong to Grizzly.
Grizzly from 1976, considered by many to be a rip-off of Jaws, which, to be honest, it kind of is. It's also in a lot of ways a precursor to Friday the 13th, dealing with an 18-foot grizzly bear with a taste for human flesh, causing all manner of mischief in a national park. It hits a lot of the same plot beats as Jaws and other similar man versus nature films that were out around that time, like Piranha and that. But with a forest setting and particularly gory kills with limbs flying all over the shop, it's essentially a slasher movie with a big fucking bear. So obviously it is cool as fuck. So check that one out. Next one I'd recommend is Delamore, aka Cemetery Man.
I don't know how the epidemic started. All I know is that some people, on the 7th night after their death, come back to life. I call them returners.
I don't live alone, I've got a helper, Nagi.
On his ID card it reads, distinctive visible marks, all. The most beautiful living woman I have ever seen.
The cemetery's small, but it's got a marvellous ossuary.
I don't want to. I can't.
Why on your poor husband's grave, huh?
You would have liked to know.
Well,
Oh, it's been so understanding.
That's lies!
He came back to the dead, he raped her, and then bit her to death.
Is it true what they say, that the dead come back to life here at night?
Go away, I haven't got time for the living.
How sweet.
Yeah? No.
Please don't. I'd like to marry now.
Not as long, dear, as I've got a breath in my body.
All right.
If you don't want the dead coming back to life, why don't you just kill the living?
Smoking is not allowed in here.
What are you doing on the floor, sister?
just praying.
Delamonte, wait! There's another maniac on the loose. He already shot 3.
Somebody's stolen my crimes.
Make a wish.
I want you to fall in love with me.
Shoot them in the head.
Yes, Delamore, aka Cemetery Man, starring Rupert Everett, beautifully shot piece of work from one of my favourite Italian directors, Michele Soavi. It's a mad tapestry of surreal threads tied to the backdrop of a gothic zombie movie. Flipping Shameless DVD have put out a lot of their back catalogue onto Prime, and they're up there to stream for free if you've got a Prime subscription. There's a mixture of video nasties, giallos, nunsploitation, all sorts of top stuff. But my favourite is this one, Cemetery Man. Shot in Suave's unique style and mixing the frenetic energy of the likes of Sam Raimi's Evil Dead 2 with the surreal nature of the bits of Monty Python that aren't bollocks. There's nothing else like this film on earth. I strongly recommend it. Check it out directly. It was based off an Italian comic series, and there was another film based off it called Dylan Dog Dead of Night, but that's shite. Anyway, on to the next one. Petey Wheatstraw, the Devil's Son-in-Law.
Yes? I'm Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law.
Rudy Ray Moore is Petey Wheatstraw, starring Leroy and Skillet, Jimmy Funky Tramp Lynch, and Wild Man Steve.
One bite does it.
I have a proposition to offer you, Petey. Are you willing to listen?
But what do you want from me now?
A son.
You got to be sick. Don't give me that supernatural shit.
That Dolomite Man, Rudy Ray Moore, is back funnier than ever in the new movie, Petey Wheatstraw.
Just tell your boss I'm still alive and I'm mad as a hornet in a bumblebee eye. Tell your boss that his days is numbered and his luck is bad.
Always like women with big ass.
Don't brother me, no business, born back to son of a bitch.
Petey Wheatstraw, rated R.
Petey Wheatstraw, the Devil's Son-in-Law, from Rudy Ray Moore. Now, if you're like me, you might have first heard of Rudy Ray Moore from skits and appearances on albums from the likes of Dr. Dre and Snoop. But you may also have seen the Netflix biopic with Eddie Murphy that's came out recently, Dolomite Is My Name. That's pretty decent, but on Prime you can find a lot of Rudy Ray Moore's original films in crispy 4K restorations, including Dolomite, The Human Tornado, Disco Godfather, and my personal favourite, Petey Wheatstraw. Now, this tells the age-old familiar tale of a stand-up comedian / kung fu master who enters into a deal with the devil in exchange for marrying his daughter. He gains eternal life and Satan's personal pimp cane and the mystical powers that come with it. Yeah, it's exactly as demented as it sounds and absolutely fantastic. Seriously, this is one that you definitely need to see. If you haven't seen any other Rudy Ray Moore films, this is an exceptional place to start. And speaking of mad follow-ups, let's have a look at Amityville. It's About Time.
Wow, it's
Creepy.
unique.
I like it.
Are you sure you don't want to spend the night?
I hate having regret for breakfast. What? So what? Evil.
This company was breaking ground on a new development. Where? New York. Long Island, actually. I think it's called Amityville Manors.
Amityville. Dad! Somebody open the door! You remember Leonard?
Yeah, I heard about your leg.
This is the real thing.
Don't lie to me.
If there's any other trouble I will have, Jake admitted like that.
We could only move for one reason. Where it was safe is no longer. It must find a new home.
Well, somehow Jacob is behind all this. Now, I don't know if it's a case of parapsychological projection.
There's no sense in looking for it. See, I think it's inside of us. It's trying to make this house its home.
You guys have a relationship, okay? I'm not part of that.
What the hell is happening here?
It's got nothing to do with hell, Andrea.
What are you talking about?
Hold still.
Come.
There's somebody here. This is about power. I love you.
All aboard.
You won't regret this, I swear.
You might.
Amityville, 1992. It's About Time. Now, since the original, and between sequels, TV movies, direct-to-video efforts, reboots, remakes, unauthorized retellings of the same story, there are probably literally, hundreds of versions of Amityville films. And since Amityville 2, they're almost all shite. With one anomaly, and that's 1992's Amityville, It's About Time. Now, obviously, you got a haunted house and you got that many sequels. Sooner or later, someone's got to think, look, if people keep dying when they go into that house, maybe just don't go into that house. So we need a new plot device. And what happens here is a clock that was in the original Amityville house is shipped to LA, where it starts causing all manner of satanic mither in its new gaff. Directed by Tony Randell, known to you and maybe me as the director of Hellbound, Hellraiser 2 and Ticks. This certainly ticks all the boxes for Raised Hell. There's a lot of weird shit happens in this film. Excellent carnage levels. Get on it. Amityville 1992, Amityville 1992, It's About Time. And for our final recommendation, we have 1988's Uninvited.
They say cats have 9 lives. You have only 1.
A poisonous cat. Now, how's that possible?
You're gonna be richer than your wildest dreams.
Nothing's gonna keep me from getting to the Caymans.
Now start the engine and get us headed for the Caymans.
Things are gonna bite us, and we're all gonna die of horrible death.
Uninvited, starring George Kennedy and Alex Cord. You'll never look at a cat in the same way again.
Uninvited. Now, there's a lot of films called Uninvited or The Uninvited. But the one we're after is the one that's on Prime, and that's the 1988 film Uninvited with George C. Scott. Now this one tells the age-old, so familiar tale of an evil mutant killer cat that is somehow inside a lovely fluffy cat that escapes from a government research facility that's making mutant evil cats that go inside lovely fluffy cats for some reason. It's never explained, never gone back to. You don't need to know that. Who the fuck cares? They do a lot of weird shit in the government. Don't trust them. But anyway, it escapes, and meanwhile some white collar criminals headed up by George C. Scott hopping on their little yacht to fuck off to the Cayman Islands with a load of money that needs to be laundered in a tax haven. Now, to make this less suspicious, they decide to take a load of local students who are spring breaking or whatever the fuck Americans do when they're not doing fucking student shit. And I'm not sure how that would work well in a cover, because surely taking a load of teenagers overseas in a yacht without any kind of authorization would make the whole thing look more suspicious rather than less suspicious, yeah? I don't know, but ultimately it's the 80s and a lot of weird shit happened. Jimmy Savile was big on TV. This is probably how they did business back then. Anyway, these students foolishly take the lovely fluffy cat, which contains the evil mutant killer cat, on board the yacht, and predictably, mayhem at sea ensues. So yeah, that's Uninvited. All these films are on Amazon Prime. You can check them out. I recommend you do. If you like this video, leave us a comment. Hit the like button right there. You could also do us a favour and just drop us a line. Let me know how you got on with these films. If there's one you haven't heard of, you checked it out. If you were feeling it, if you weren't feeling it, let me know about that again in the comments there. Okay, so yeah, subscribe to the channel. All that bollocks. Safe. Sinister Cinema is written and produced by Kinell. Artwork by Ben Jamieson. Music by Blizzard.